Test 1 2. Okay. Now it's working. Well, good morning, kids. Hold up. Crap. Adjusting a few things here. All right. Good morning, kids. We're ready to stream here. We're live. We're going. Welcome to another episode of The Abyss. This is number 63, I guess. I'm, of course, your host, The Eternal Abyss. How is everybody doing? I have my coffee. I hope you have yours, too. Mine's way too hot to drink right now, so I'm going to wait a couple minutes, and then I can start taking a couple sips from it. Goodness. So... I still, well, actually, before I go into anything, let me greet everybody as I normally do. Hello to everybody on all the various platforms I'm on. I want to say hello to everybody on Bitwave. I want to say hello to everybody on Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, DLive, and Float, even though I can't get Float to load correctly, so I don't even know if I'm technically live there or not, even though it says I am. Nope, actually, it's not saying it that I am. Still trying to send data, so Float's been very janky lately. Let's just leave it at that and move on. Yep, unable to connect. Never mind. Yeah, there's something going on with Float, so let's skip that for now, not worry about it, and we'll just move on. So here we go. News of the day. The vote happened in the House to remove Rep. Greene from her committees. And it passed, of course, went along party lines, obviously. And I don't even care. It's not something that I particularly care about if she was removed from her committee or not. The only thing that I would comment is the fact that there is going to be a double standard. And this was clearly just a political thing. This was clearly partisan. Whether there was actual merit to the arguments to remove her from committees or not, pretty irrelevant. Okay, sure, she said that Jews used the giant laser for something. I don't even care. I don't even know. Whatever. Regardless of that, this is definitely a partisan thing. And it's a political persecution thing, because if they call her anti-Semitic and they call her a kook, well, I mean, then you definitely need to look into other people in both parties. This isn't even like a Republican versus Democrat thing or conservative versus liberal thing. I mean, if you're gonna remove her from committees, AOC shouldn't be on any committees because she's committed monetary fraud in her campaigning. You have had election fraud on the side of Ilhan Omar, apart from the fact that she married your own brother. For immigration fraud, there's that. And she's also said homophobic things. She said anti-Semitic things. She said racist things. But I don't think that the Democrats are going to have any issue with her on any committees. In fact, she's still on the committee she's on. So this is obviously this is a purge that's happening right now. They want to purge anything that's related to Trump, pro-MAGA, anything like that. You even have Chase Bank going in on this. They're trying to actually not trying to. They stopped processing payments for this coffee company called the Coffee Company. I don't know if anybody heard about that. I didn't even know that this coffee company existed. But apparently it does, and apparently Chase Bank, as they have done before, because this isn't the first time Chase has done this, they've stopped processing payments for that company. And this is supposed to be America. This is supposed to be free speech, free enterprise, believe what you want, live your life. Nah. This isn't America anymore. This isn't America when you have corporations coordinating with politicians and activists and media to overthrow an election, to silence people, to purge people from the public discourse, and to make it out that just because you don't happen to agree with them politically, that you are somehow fringe, that you are somehow extreme, that you are somehow some sort of insurrectionist. Though if you happen to be on their side of the argument, you can burn cities down for like an entire year. And nobody gives a rat's ass. And you can do sit-ins in Capitol buildings and go in Capitol buildings and federal buildings. But when it's your side of the argument, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just protesting. It's people exercising their right. Yeah. See how that double standard works? Well, it's freedom for me, but not for thee. It's free speech for me, but not for thee. It's freedom of assembly for me and not for thee. That's what it is. Speaking of enterprise, did you hear about this as well? David Hogg, that loser. He's launching a... Oops. I just unplugged my headphones. There we go. Now I can hear myself again. David Hogg is launching... I can't even say it with a straight face. He's launching a pillow company to compete against the My Pillow guy because he wants to put My Pillow out of business. Yeah. Hey, free country. Start your own garbage pillow company. I don't care. I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to buy it because they're not going to buy it because it's good. They're not going to buy it because it's a fine product. They're going to buy it because they're salty and they hate Mike Lindell and they hate Trump and they want to stick it to him. That's the only reason why his business is going to have any business whatsoever. It's not because he's going to have a decent product. He doesn't know anything about pillows. He doesn't know anything about materials that go into it. He doesn't know anything about the manufacturing process. And he's partnering up with an engineer like somehow that's supposed to fix things for him. Like these people are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So he's doing this. I mean, it's just laughable to me. How butthurt can you be that you want to create a business just to stick it to an individual that you don't like? It doesn't make any sense at all. To me, that's the definition of a mental illness. But like I said, people are he's gonna get the funding for it versus someone who may have a better business idea. Because banks, as you see, are pretty biased themselves. They're going to give money to this guy because they're going to prop him up. And they're going to prop his business up. For the longest time, Elon Musk's Tesla. Elon Musk with Tesla was getting government subsidies because his company was not viable. And they were pushing for electric cars. I don't even know if he has any major profit margins at the moment. He probably does now. But when he started with Tesla, I know for a fact that he was getting a lot of government subsidies. Now, I don't know what his numbers are. I don't know what his profit margins are or whatever. So I'm not going I'm not going to criticize Elon Musk that much in that sense because I don't have any data in front of me. So I'm not going to make any claims about him. But it goes in line with the issue that you have entities like governments or banks that picks winners and losers. And I don't think that's very good for the free market. How is that different from not using a product because you don't like their politics? Well, that's a personal choice. There's a difference between making a personal choice on a product that I don't want to use or use versus me starting a whole enterprise based off the fact that I hate one guy. That's called pettiness to the extreme. And they would say that Trump is petty. Okay, maybe he was, but there's no comparison here. Individuals are free to do whatever they want. Individuals can buy a product, can not buy a product, can consume a brand, not consume a brand. But to me, the issue is that the markets should not be manipulated because you have some sort of political bias. That is where the issue lies. So, if he wants to do that, I mean, so be it. But I think there are far more worthier businesses out there that could probably use the loans that he's going to suck up. Take another sip of my coffee. Oh, I'm going to talk about that, Padre. I saw that just now too. We'll talk about that from Time magazine. Yeah. No, I'm talking right now about not Padre. What am I saying? About David Hawk, who's starting his own version of My Pillow. Yeah, I saw that. We'll talk about that a little later in the stream. I don't plan on making this a very long stream. So I'm gonna try and stay on. We're gonna try and not derail as we usually do. Well, whether she's crazy or not, excommunicated. Why is she Catholic? I don't know if she's Catholic. Well, she's crazy, fine. Again, like I said before, it's not so much a matter of her being crazy or not. It's a matter of that this is clearly biased in its intent. I'm mad as hell, and I'll probably take it a little more. Yeah. I love that screaming trout gif. That's funny. No, I mean, yeah, for those that may be coming in late, we also talked about the fact that Rep. Greene was voted out of her committees. So she can't sit on committees right now. And you have some people that just want to kick her out of Congress directly. Yep. Time for coffee, Steve Dave. Welcome to the stream. Well, my thing is this. If you kick out Rep. Greene, you need to kick out every representative and every senator that has said nonsense, that has said lies, and that has committed bad actions. So you'd have to remove. There's this one dude that said that Guam was gonna flip. Was it Guam that was gonna flip over because there was too many people on it? I don't remember what his freaking name is. Well, while you're getting your space laser, see if you can get a couple columns to keep Guam from flipping over because there's too much population. According to this one Democrat. And he's still in Congress. He's been in Congress for what, like 20, 30 freaking years? So if we're talking crazy, he should be removed right off the bat for that. On top of that, you have people that have incited violence like AOC, Maxine Waters. Yeah, it's I have screenshots as well for that. I'll post a tweet that I have for it, and Padre can put the link in chat as well. You use your space laser to destroy, so then you don't have to worry about flipping over. Well, I mean, that might be a solution. I mean, but the point is, you have representatives that say the most insane, ridiculous things. Biden himself has lied consistently. In his 40, 50 years of being in politics, he's said the most racist shit, the most ridiculous lies about his accolades. He lied about what, like, he doesn't even know the school that he went to. He lied about the school that he went to. He lied about whether he was the top of his class. He was not. He was at the bottom of his class. He lied about the person that was involved in the accident that killed his wife and child, saying it was their fault, that they were drinking and driving when that wasn't even the case. So Biden has done nothing but lie. He lied recently. Like, let's talk about more recent lies. Thank you, Padre, for the link. Yep, that's the whole article right there. And that's what exactly happened. I mean, it's obvious to anybody who paid attention to the election that you had big tech, you had media, you had everybody working together to change things for the election. And in particular, one particular quote in the article that's interesting is this one, where it says, their work touched every aspect of the election. They got states to change voting systems and laws and helped secure hundreds of millions in public and private funding. And who knows if that's within the law for money going into elections, because there's all regulations and laws regarding that. And whether they changed the laws correctly, which in some states for sure they did not, because the legislature didn't change the laws. Was it the Secretary of State or the governor decided arbitrarily to apply certain laws and such? So I don't know the details of that sort of thing. Well, I mean, I guess we're talking about that now, so we'll talk about that now. So yeah, there's this whole thing. The Times is pretty much spilling its beans about this sort of thing. So this is what the interesting part of this article is. It says here, Trump said on December 2nd, within days after the election, we witnessed an orchestrated effort to anoint the winner, even while many key states were still being counted. In a way, Trump was right. There was a conspiracy unfolding behind the scenes, one that both curtailed the protests and coordinated the resistance from CEOs. Both surprises were the results of an informal alliance between left-wing activities and business titans. The pact was formalized in the terse, little-noticed joint statement of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and AFL-CIO, published on Election Day. Both sides would come to see it as a sort of implicit bargain inspired by the summer's massive, sometimes destructive racial justice protests, in which the forces of labor came together with the forces of capital to keep the peace and oppose Trump's assault on democracy. Though there was no assault on democracy. See, this right here is already a lie. What assault did Trump have on democracy? I would like someone to actually tell me this. They keep saying that Trump assaulted democracy. What did he assault by wanting, like for the election, for example, wanting legitimate votes counted? Where's the assault on democracy there? I'd like to know. But anyways, the rest of this article obviously is going to have its own biases. But the point is that, yeah, this was all coordinated. Obviously. Yeah, basically they changed the rules. They changed the rules to benefit them. And in many cases, I would argue they changed the rules going against the law. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that they hate them for muddying the waters, Padre. I don't doubt that. But the point to me, the greater point is this coordinated effort where let's say everything was even legit. Let's say that this whole thing was legit, okay? Doesn't it concern anybody? Does it concern anybody that corporations can essentially dictate an election? I would find that disturbing. I don't think corporations should be dictating what happens in an election. I don't think they should be getting involved in election law and having states change election law because they don't like one candidate and they want to make it impossible for him to win. What if all the conservative companies got together and did that towards the Democrats? Change the laws by them, just willy-nilly, so Democrats wouldn't be able to win in certain states anymore. I think you would have, heads exploding on the left if you had that sort of thing. Oh, definitely get money out of politics. That's something that I've been saying for a very long time. I don't think there should be any sort of donations from companies. Like companies as corporations should not be able to donate. Period. Super PACs to me shouldn't even exist. I think that as individuals, if you want to throw your money away to one Republican or one Democrat, you're free to do what you want with your money as an individual. As an individual, I can't tell you not to put money somewhere. But I would also put huge limitations on that. So you don't have just some rich people with gobs and gobs of money throwing money behind a candidate. I would say that for one election cycle, the maximum that everybody can donate is like $100, something like that. Just a stupid number, just as an example. So you even the playing field. So basically, every single person, no matter if you're rich or poor, if you're a business owner or you work at McDonald's. Thank you, Padre, for archiving that. I think that would be the best way to ensure fair elections. And you would have to require, because I think this was, I think this law didn't get renewed. The equal airtime thing. I don't know. Do you guys know if that law got changed, like if it didn't get renewed? Because I didn't think that got renewed. I think that was one big thing because I was remembering a lot of people on the left really, really griping about the fact that the media was always talking about Trump, going, no, it's not equal airtime, not equal airtime. And it's like, well, nobody's telling them to talk about Trump. They are. So I would do a lot of changes to even the playing field in our election system. I would also have a verification system for the actual voting. Yeah, a voter ID or whatever, something that verifies that one person gets one vote and that vote is indeed counted correctly and accurately. Not what happened in this last election. We didn't have an election. We had a clown show. That's what we had. Myanmar, instead, they had a whole different scenario. They had a whole military coup. And now our dictator in chief, Biden, is saying, that the military needs to relinquish power. Or what? He's going to start rambling and forget where he is? I mean, what is he going to do? Yeah. I mean, hey, if you have corrupt people in government, and for the record and disclaimer, I'm not inciting violence. I'm not an insurrectionist. I'm not saying the military should take over the government. I'm just speaking in generalities here. Because someone's going to lose their mind and maybe report me to YouTube. All I'm saying is, like, in the past, you have had military takeovers of governments because the governments had just gone bananas. They were corrupt. I believe, I don't know if they were Hillary's BFFs, but I know that the military did arrest the president of Myanmar. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, too. I'm terrible at pronouncing all this stuff. Q predicted that? Really? Well, I guess a broken clock can be right once or twice. No. I only want military action if it's actually justified. I want the Constitution to be followed. That's what I want. I want the Constitution and laws to be followed. And if the consequence of that means that the military needs to get involved to ensure, like, there's certain things are done correctly, then so be it. Maybe our military needs to be involved in the elections. Maybe they need to be the ones that are setting up the machines and monitoring the machines and making sure that things are done correctly. Because obviously civilians can't do the job. And politicians can't do the job. So perhaps maybe that's a solution. Police state voting. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the solution. All I'm saying is that our current system, it's not working. Pretty much, Padre. Yeah, the capital's still under martial law. I think they have only like 7,000 troops left, last I heard. But it's still all completely barricaded. The dictator's fortress is still a dictator's fortress. So we have that. And they're probably going to keep that going for as long as possible. Wouldn't surprise me. Because they know that this isn't legitimate. Bunker Boy Biden fears his subjects. In a way, yeah. And now you're seeing like these bogus poll numbers coming out too, saying, "Oh, 63% of people think he's on the right track." Bullshit. He can't even get more likes than dislikes on YouTube, and you want to tell me people like him? People think he's doing a good job. The fact that he already signed over 40-something executive orders, and it hasn't even been a month since he's been president. That's fine. Trump signed one, like within the first 24 or 48 hours of being president, and everybody lost their minds in the media. Oh, he's being a dictator. Oh, he's being a dictator. But Biden signs like 7 in one day. Oh no, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. Yeah. Yeah, and there's even video of him saying that. Like, I don't even know what I'm signing. The guy has no clue what he's doing. Yeah. So it's a joke. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And more information, I promise you, the more information comes out as time passes, the more and more people will see what absolute bullshit this election was. Oh, by the way, speaking of bullshit elections, do you know that and speaking of the My Pillow guy, since we talked about him too, do you know that Mike Lindell released the documentary? He released a documentary about the election fraud called Absolute Proof. I have not seen it. I don't know anything about it. You have media already like trashing it, saying, "Oh, it's just nonsense conspiracy that China was involved or whatever." And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really particularly like care at this point, because let's say he even drops all this absolute proof. Let's say the video is all legit. Every single item of information in there is accurate. Then what? I mean, is anything really going to change? Is anything really going to change? I don't think so. So I don't know. And all these people, speaking of what's happening in politics as well, so Seattle slew in chief here, vice president, or vice dictator, I guess, cast her first tie-breaking vote to pass the Biden stimulus bill, which is what, like $1.9 trillion. I remember during the 4 years of Trump's presidency that everybody was griping on the left about Trump's deficit and the national debt that kept climbing and climbing and climbing. Now, granted, it was huge. I'm not saying that he didn't increase the debt and the national debt. But how much you want to bet that nobody complains about the $1.9 trillion of debt? And now my taxes have to go to bullshit like gender studies in Pakistan. Why? Why? Can anybody tell me why? What the fuck do my taxpayer money have to do with that? Biden signed 28 in his first month. I don't know about that, because I've seen numbers upwards towards the like 43 or 47. Well, tell them to drop their pants. If they don't know who is a boy and a girl, all they gotta do is drop their pants and they can see who's a boy and a girl. Build back better for someone else. That's right, Padre. Fuck America, right? Who gives a shit about that? Ridiculous. Okay, well, he's done presidential memoranda on top of the executive order. So I think that's where the additional numbers are coming from. Because he's already done 28. And he has another one that is on the way. So it hasn't even been a month yet, and he's already close to 29. Because this one happened yesterday, rebuilding and enhancing programs to resettle refugees and planning for the impact of climate change on migration. Yeah. So basically, letting refugees into the country during a pandemic. That was the news item that I think I talked about that yesterday. Ridiculous. This is a joke. So if he, with this pace, at the pace that he's at, doing executive orders, he will surpass 30 easily. Because there's still 15 days to the 20th of February. So between now and 2 weeks from now, if he keeps signing all these executive orders as he's been doing, he's gonna surpass Roosevelt's record. I had heard 40 plus 2. I don't know where that number came from, but I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Not that Wikipedia is a reliable source or anything like that, but at least the Wikipedia is saying that it's 28 right now. We're still in his first month, by the way. 1 month hasn't passed yet. He got installed as dictator on the 20th of January. It's only been like 2.5 weeks, isn't it? About 2 weeks or so, yeah. What's not allowed? Oh yeah, I'm sure Trump did so much damage. So using my money for Pakistani gender studies is turning, like, undoing damage that Trump did. Okay. I don't see anything that Trump did that was particularly damaging. Securing the border of a country, there's nothing particularly damaging about that. What's damaging about that? Giving us one of the best economies we've had in a long time. Turn off trolls? No. I don't need to turn off trolls just yet. You can log in, dude. It's fine. I don't mind if trolls troll. That's what trolls do. But yeah, it's just silly in my opinion. Because I don't think there's anything quantifiable that anybody can tell me that was so detrimental in Trump's presidency. The only thing that, to me... Hey MZ, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. The only thing... Oh, actually, I forgot. I need to look at my other chats. I keep forgetting to do that. Ha! Sorry. Let me get my... The only quantifiable damage that I can say the Trump administration did, and it wasn't even Trump's doing, has more to do with the fact that the media went nuts and big tech went nuts, and they just absolutely showed their bias. And that's, I mean, on one side, one could say that's not really a bad thing because it's just lifting the veil of bullshit that they've put in front of you. So on one side, there's that. I don't think the Israel stuff is a big deal because that was something, for example, like the embassy. Let's take a look at that. That really didn't damage us per se. I did feel that he put a lot of focus on that, which, you know, there's room for argument saying, well, if you're doing America first, maybe you should focus on America, not Israel. So on that side, I can probably say, sure, maybe that's not quite the MAGA message that you want to send. But the thing is, for example, the embassy, you had Bush Sr. promising to put an embassy there. You had Bush Jr., W, promising to do that. You had Clinton promising that. You had Obama promising that. On both sides of the aisle, you had both politicians, whatever it would be. He wouldn't go to war with Iran, yeah. He negotiated with North Korea and made them stop doing the missile stuff. So, I mean, in terms of foreign policy, I really don't think that Trump's foreign policy was detrimental in any way. It was, we don't do wars. We don't need to get into it. We don't need to be the world police, which is kind of going back to the way the United States was pre-World War II or during World War II. That we only get involved if we really need to get involved. And I don't think there's necessarily anything inherently wrong with that. Many people over the years have told me from different countries, they complain about the fact that the United States acts as the world police. And then when you have someone like Trump that doesn't want to be the world police, now all of a sudden he's the worst thing since Hitler. Really? That reminds me, next time I talk to a couple of these people, I need to ask them about that. Because I know I'm still in contact with a couple of people specifically that told me that they were angry about the fact that that America was the world police. And then they bitch about Trump. So I'd like to see how they find a resolution for that in their brain. Yeah, it's weird. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It really doesn't. No, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, I'm flipping my windows around here, getting my chats up properly. That's not the correct window. That's the window I wanted, yes. So, other stuff that I wanted to talk about here, moving on. I think I was on track talking about, oh yeah, we were talking about, oh please. Get rid of these people, spammers. Work from home mom made $1 gazillion. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, speaking of people making $1 gazillion, did you know that Hunter Biden is going to write a book and he got $2 million already for it? About his substance abuse? Yeah. So instead of putting pedophiles and corrupt people in jail, we're rewarding them with $2 million in advance book deals. Sounds legit. Sounds about right. Par for course. I mean, we rewarded one pedophile with a quote presidency. So this simulation is so fucked. Yeah. I don't know. I live in a bizarro world now. I completely, it's not that I had any illusions about the level of corruption that's in the world. Okay. I never had any major illusions about that. I just did not realize how much of a clown world this is. And how insanely corrupt everything is. It's mind-boggling. It's really mind-boggling. Let's see if there's any other news items to blather on about. You realized you're in a bizarro world when they called Bernie Sanders anti-Semitic? That is a bit odd, being that he is Jewish. But actually, I've known people of certain ethnic groups that there's a lot of self-hate. So maybe you can be anti-Semitic and Jewish at the same time. I mean, just look at all the white people that hate themselves. There are a lot of white people that hate themselves because they're convinced that somehow being white makes them evil. So because somehow being white is inherently wrong. So you have a lot of people that just hate themselves for the fact that they're white, because that makes sense. Oh, look at that. Mike Lindell's video is one of the top trends. So you also have this going on right now. You have Biden, even though CDC warnings say don't travel, you have Biden flying to Delaware. I troll Sab H. You're herb, right? But then again, it's Fox News. Who cares? So, oh, by the way, I don't know. We talked about. I don't know if I talked too much about AOC yesterday. I talked a little bit about her, I think, but AOC is she is facing some major fallout. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. I guess you're not herb. My bad. I don't know who the trolls are. I'm just trying to guess. Um. So, but did you guys see this on social media that she was actually trending? Yeah, because I talked about this yesterday. That was part of my stream yesterday. She's still facing it today. It's ongoing. It hasn't stopped yet. Golem? Oh, Golem Tool? What are you talking about? I don't care about the fact that she was a bartender. I don't really care that she was a bartender. I don't think that qualifies you to serve in government though. But if you want to be a bartender, be a bartender. I don't care. In my day, I've seen some bartenders that have had quite a quite a skilled way of doing their job. It's a Jewish term for proxies. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that terminology, sir. All I can say is that it is really, really funny how the media is trying to protect her, because I saw a couple articles now saying AOC has led the forefront in like having other people retell their harrowing experience. So they're trying to make it out as if she's some sort of, oh, she's such a leader, and talking about how horrible her experience was, and everybody's talking about their horrible experience because of that. It's such bullshit. It's such bootlicking. She wasn't even in the same building. She was across the street. Harrowing experience. And honestly, if these people were terrified and they were scared, I'm just gonna be honest, I don't care. Maybe if you followed the law, maybe if you did the right thing, maybe if you didn't pull bullshit on people and you kept lying to people and you kept pissing people off, you wouldn't have a reason to be scared of the people. I mean, because our government is supposed to be a representative government, is it not? Last I checked, it's supposed to be. Oh, she always does that too. I mean, she consistently tries to paint herself as a victim. Consistently. All the time. And she's been caught lying over and over and over and over. And morons like Ted Cruz actually fell for this ploy. When it comes to people like Alyssa Milano, for example, and did that meeting with Alyssa Milano that at the end of the day served no purpose. Which I don't even know why he decided to do this thing, because he wanted to, like, oh yeah, I'm willing to have a conversation about gun control and blah blah. It's like, you're wasting your time. Yeah, people eat it up. People eat it up. I don't know why. It's like people don't really have a brain. So I don't know. It's surprising to me, because there's one thing about, saying this happened to me, and I want people to learn from that experience, or gain insight or whatever. But then there's the other thing where you have people like Smollett, Jesse Smollett, and like AOC. In fact, one of the trends yesterday was was AOC Smollett, Alexandria Ocasio Smollett, because it's just made up shit. They're literally making shit up to gain sympathy. And even when they're called out on it, even when there's people, like in the case of Jesse Smollett, coming out, the two guys from Africa, saying, no, like it was all made up, he still paints himself as a victim, blubbering on TV and blubbering in front of a judge, because he wants sympathy. Oh, I felt bad, so that's why I did that. Because of the oppression that's happening, I did that because people need to be made aware of oppression. So just because you perceive some garbage, that's okay for you to stage a hate crime. Or just because you feel something's not going the way you want, it's okay for you to lie about your whereabouts when there's a small handful of morons that go into a federal building. I mean, if the rule now is say whatever you want, do whatever you want, behave in whatever way you want, break any law because my feels, what's the point of even having a country anymore at this point? That's just pure anarchy. And the courts didn't do anything to Smollett, for example. I don't even think they fined him. Last I checked, I hadn't heard anything about him being fined for that. And the Bubba guy, whatever his name was, from NASCAR, creating this whole ridiculous brouhaha, which used my taxpayer money to investigate a rope that's used to open and close a garage. Because it was a noose. Sure. Sure it was. It's tiring. It's just tiring. Every day that passes, honestly, I feel like, I don't know if you guys watch Futurama, or anybody that's listening to me watch Futurama. There's this episode where Professor Farnsworth, the old guy, goes, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. At least Bubba destroys NASCAR. Has NASCAR been affected by that? Has their viewership gone down? Because I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with that. It hasn't been important enough for me to actually pay attention, because it was so dumb. It was just so dumb. I couldn't dedicate enough time and energy to it. I hope so too, but who knows? So that's where we're at. Oh, it looks like another little bit of news here. You can't have a conversation with a screaming madman. You treat them like children and make fun of them as such. Pretending that any Democrat is an adult and involving them in anything less than a conversation you have with a 12-year-old is folly. They need to be ridiculed for their lies like you would a child. Oh, poor AOC. Got a boo-boo from the bathroom. bathtub. Maybe she should stop crying wolf. I don't think that matters to these people. I mean, AOC has been mercilessly mocked ever since she was elected because she said the most stupid things. She lies consistently. Yes, she still does it because she has a hardcore group of followers and supporters that will support her no matter what. They're going to keep licking her boots no matter what. I mean, just look at people, for example, like Pelosi. She's been in government for so long that she should have retired. She shouldn't even be allowed to run again. Yeah, I mean, just during that video, if you saw the replay or the clip of her talking about her quote experience, all the little hearts that were coming up. And I'm like, you people are retarded. She wasn't even in the same building. She was across the street. It's just frustrating as hell. It's just frustrating as hell, in my opinion. Now you have India. India is threatening to put Twitter employees in jail for 7 years just for letting journalists tweet about protests. Check this out. India's actions here represent an extraordinary escalation of tensions between a democratically elected government and a social network. The government has argued that by tweeting about a certain hashtag, the Twitter users incited violence associated with recent protests related to agricultural reforms. And there will always be some disagreement between governments and platforms working out which posts could truly cause imminent harm. But to threaten Twitter's employees in India with 7 years in prison for upholding the basic speech rights of working journalists goes well beyond the realm of honest dispute and something out of Orwell. Oh, really? To be clear, these threats are not entirely new. In 2016, a Facebook executive in Brazil was jailed briefly over a dispute regarding WhatsApp data connected to a drug deal. But there is a difference between an interrogation and a multi-year prison sentence. So obviously this person feels that this is Orwellian, but it's not Orwellian for technology to basically run a country. Technology companies and Big Brother looking at you all the time and censoring you and silencing you. That's not Orwellian. But a government fighting back is. I'm not saying that India is even right in this scenario. I don't know what the details are in this. I'm not taking any side on this one. They're threatening to do Twitter users? No, these are... Oh, yeah. No, because you can't do it to journos. Twitter users is fine. You can fuck them all you want. Oh, yeah. But you can... Oh, God forbid you touch the journos. I'm not too familiar with Monsanto, so I don't know. I may have read it at one point, but it's not ringing a bell right now. But yeah. Here's this actually I have the whole article here. And I know that Greta Thunberg now is under investigation by India as well because of what she posted on Twitter, which I find hilarious, frankly. I find that to be really, really funny. Not gonna lie. Oh, this is a paid article thing. Oh, whatever. I'm not paying for that. Speaking of paying, this is a good opportunity to, do some shameless self-promotion. Hey, if you enjoy, what did Greta Thunberg do? So she was posting saying that she was in favor of, she was supporting the farmers that are protesting in India. And then she posted this document which it appeared to be like this coordination of like what you need to say, what you need to do, and all these people involved in stuff that like it's basically it would be foreign interference into domestic affairs of a country. And she immediately deleted it. And that also brought up issues about how she's basically a rent-a activist for any sort of cause that pushes whatever she wants to push. So now India is doing a criminal probe into her, which again I just find funny. She deleted that, and then she posted a different document afterwards. But she immediately deleted that one document because it revealed all this coordination and all this other stuff. And I wish someone would have archived it because I didn't see it, and I would have liked to see what that document said. Well, she's obviously manipulated. Obviously manipulated. By her parents, by her handlers, but she's used. She's used like a puppet. And it's not the first time teenagers have been used for that. It's just the first time that an autistic one has been used for that. Because there's this one girl back in the 70s, was it? I can't remember her name. We talked about this on stream at one point. Where there's this one girl who basically said the same exact things that Greta Thunberg was saying. Now, she said it back in the 70s. With some minor variations. There's videos of her. And it's the same shit that they keep saying over and over and over and over and over. It's all theatrics. It's all bullshit. Yeah, it's nonsense. So I'm thinking it's pretty hilarious that she's now being investigated, so. But as I was saying, let's do some some shameless self-promotion. Hey, if you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed listening to me gripe and bemoan the current state of affairs, feel free to buy me a coffee. Or, my Ethereum crypto address is in the description. You can also donate there. But honestly, the biggest thing that anybody can do, as I usually say, is just follow. Follow, share. Give me more views on all the various platforms that I'm on. Subscribe. Do all that. The larger audience I have, the better. That's really the best way to help me. So if you can be oh so kind to give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscription, that would be wonderful, and I would be eternally grateful. So with that, I don't know if there's really much else that I had planned to talk about today. There's really not a whole lot going on. In the sense that I don't really feel that there's much else for me to talk about. Why is Who Owns Kavanaugh trending? Oh, I guess it's an article that just came out. I don't know. This guy they've done nothing but attack this man. It's pretty ridiculous. Greg O'Lear? Who is Greg O'Lear? He's the author of this? Oh, then it's not even worth reading this guy's article. If he wrote a book about Trump and Russia, then he's an absolute moron. Yeah, not worth my time. Not gonna bother. Is this safe for work? What's this all about? That's not her mother. I should put this up on screen here. Why are 4 people just following her around with masks? Like, what's going on there? Oh, there is. She talks. Okay. Hold on. You know what? Let me do this. Let me see if I can not boomer up the stream, and I'll put this on, and then we'll call it a day. Let's do this. Hold up. Stand by. Where is that? No, that's not what I wanted. Where is that? That's what I wanted. Whoa! The hell? Okay. Ah. What is that? Oh my god, this YouTube thing. This is not working. Hold on. Let me try something different because this is not behaving. Let's see. I'm really boomering up the stream, aren't I? Stand by, kids. We're gonna get this working sooner or later. I promise. See, this is why you people shouldn't send me links, because then I want to get this working, and I waste all this time, and I derail the stream, and then you guys just gotta wait on me. Okay. Almost there. Nope. Wrong direction. Here we go. I promise we're almost there. Alright. I think that'll do. Let me reduce the size of that just a touch. There we go. Okay. Hopefully the audio will come through. That's the biggest thing, really. Alright. Let's see if this works. I make no promises or guarantees. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it. I knew that was gonna happen. Alright, hold on. Let me try something else. I know how to get this to work, trust me. I will get this to work before we end the stream. Two seconds. Okay. Don't autoplay. Perfect. Alright, got it. Yeah, go away. Alright. There we go. Alright.
Nu ska jag ner och handla lite mat. Det är inget konstigt alls. Nej, nej, nej. Och det är inte en massa assistenter och sådant som folk kanske tror. Nej, nej, bara jag och mina dansare. Jag handlar precis som vanligt folk gör. och tacos och pizza. Och ja, ingen rysk kaviar här, inte som folk kanske tror. Nej, nej, nej. Inget konstigt alls.
Nej, nej, nej. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Alright, let's stop this here. That's freaking funny. What is that about? I don't even know. Anybody spoke the language that she was speaking that can clue me in here? Let me get the chat back up here. One day I might have a stream of the quality of Spooky and actually play it Link. I was able to play it, come on. It's the Schnell video. Apparently it has its own reputation. I had no idea. Proud Boys who got beat up and named Serial are pathetic and got duped by... I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, you guys have completely lost me on the... I have no idea what chat is talking about now. Typical Euro elitist. Yeah, probably. Well, Gavin McInnes is not involved with Proud Boys anymore. He disassociated himself from it. And the founder is this Hispanic guy, to my knowledge. I don't think Gavin was the founder. Gavin just was connected to it for a long time, and then he disassociated himself with it because it got a bad rap. I don't want to replace Spook. Lady Gaga commercial. What? I think my chat has derailed into a direction that I have no idea what you people are talking about. I honestly don't know. With that, that probably is a good place to end the stream. Since we're talking about feathered dildos. I'm not sure if there's any way to recover from that or get back on track from that one. I vaguely remember that video of him talking about 5 types of cereal. The AI broke. I think so. Just adorn the eyes and you'll have $10 donations for years. Adorn the eyes? What are you talking about, adorn the eyes? You know, half of the time when I'm streaming, half of it is trying to figure out what in the world you people are talking about. Do you realize that? And I'm not complaining. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's part of the charm of streaming on Bitwave. Especially because I am loreless, as we've already established. I don't know anything about what you guys are talking about half the time to begin with, so that's always entertaining. Is that supposed to be cat ears? Why does he have cat ears? I don't know. I have not seen that video, no. Adorn the eyes thing? No, I have not, honestly. How else would she shrink herself? I don't know. I mean, Lady Gaga is the same person who wore meat as a dress, so I don't know what she does. She's really goofy. Okay. Well, you got 2 minutes, and then I'll end the stream. Actually, I'll end the stream in 3 minutes, and it will all make sense. Okay. Fair enough. She's definitely weird. No doubt about that. I don't know about pedovore, but she's definitely weird. I mean, your average person, I don't think would put in their head to go, I'm going to put on beef for a dress. Or have people puke on her during a concert when she's performing. Because that's somehow art. Her mentor was Marie Abramovich. Who's Marie Abramovich? I don't think I'm familiar with that individual. Okay. No, not that kind of dress. No, Steve. Actual cow. Slices of cow. Abramovich Jay-Z. Oh boy. Am I going to regret this? I feel I'm going to regret this if I listen to you people. Marina Abramovic? Marina Abramovic versus Jay-Z feud. What is this all about? This was back in 2015. What do you mean by you people? I mean bit waivers. Oh, that's who she is? The one that does that? Yeah, okay. The weird like okay. Like the witchcraft lady? Okay, they could just say instead of doing all this nonsense in this article, they just could get to the point. All right, let's check out the t-shirt. That's actually pretty funny. Anywho. Alright guys, it's about lunchtime here for me. It's noon Eastern Standard Time. I think I'm going to call it a day. It is a Friday, so we're going to see each other again on Monday. No stream over the weekends, obviously. So I want to wish everyone a great weekend, a great rest of your day. And remember, kids, don't be complacent. Take it easy.